So how would you describe the tone of your writing?
See, that's interesting. I don't know that I necessarily do. I think I do tend to naturally gravitate to a kind of genre mashup because I really do like genre. Genre elements can give you like these wonderful, both expected satisfactions and sometimes really wonderful reversals, because you need both for comedy and for genre an expectation that you sometimes satisfy and an expectation that you're sometimes like, nope, I'm not going to give you that. And you thought I was going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So those things are both lovely. I really enjoy both comedic elements and character angst, and I think the thing is like, yes, you can go over and do flat comedy, and sometimes you just have to go over and do flat drama. Sometimes that's what a piece calls for. But Carmilla in many ways is like kind of an ideal little project for me because I get to do both. I get to be like, I'm going to make you laugh a whole lot, and then over here, I have a knife waiting. And those are, I feel like that reflects a lot of my experience of life, that it is both sometimes unbelievably hilarious, and then sometimes right in the middle of things that you're just like, this is hilarious and awesome and wonderful, you're also like, so here's some deep pathos and existential angst, and maybe, you know, your life is just never going to work out and you're going to die alone. So the mashup of those two things, I think, is very, very accurately reflects how I go through things. And so if you get a project like this where you can mash them together and you can let characters be sort of gloriously funny, then gloriously funny, yeah. I'm modest.
They're totally gloriously funny.
Well, I think the thing is, there's a point, especially near the end, where like some of them I'm like, that's funny. It's not even really me doing it anymore. It's just like, you were gonna say that always, and that's awesome. And I just happened to be here with, you know, the keyboard to make sure. Yeah. So
how do you feel about because you've written such like specifically like weird, hilarious people, and what is it like? Then seeing that like come to fruition, and maybe sometimes it completely like aligns with like what your original view was, and maybe sometimes it like totally doesn't align with like how you saw it. Or
one of the things that always shocks me is I'm never quite aware of how cruel I'm being to actors until I can see the actors and I'm like, oh, you were a person who had to do that. Like, for instance, for you, it's entirely conceivable in the course of these 200 pages that you had more lines than Hamlet. And it never occurred to me that you were going to have to, like, it didn't, and I'm sorry, but it didn't run through my head that you were going to have to memorize those.
Deteriorate my social life completely.
Oh, yeah, no, you were giving those things up.
Permit myself.
Yeah, no, it was really I was writing Laura, and Laura would just know all those things, because those were the things that were coming out of her mouth. So the entire ordeal that you went through, not even a blip on the radar. Yeah. And it's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing for a lot of the dialogue that apparently killed people with the scientific terms. So I'm just like, but this character knows these things, right? Like, she'll be able to say lopoformes. That's just a word.
Oh my goodness, we had a rehearsal with a few of the actors, and we could not stop laughing for like a good solid half hour of the full ferments.
I know, I could hear they were very strange accents. I'm just like, simple, didn't.
What is? And then we went on YouTube, and there's that channel of like mispronunciation of words.
Yep.
Jackie Gyllenhaal. That's Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh. We just look it up.
Yeah.
Carmilla was originally a short novel. But what are some of your influences? Like you had the original text, but what were some influences that flavored your adaptation and your version?
I think we've gone through the obvious ones. I mean, like I'm such a massive fan of Joss Whedon and Veronica Mars, and like Welcome to Night Vale. It was such a wonderful thing because of the way it's taking on sort of like the unusual edges of the supernatural. And with Welcome to Night Vale comes, of course, its source material, which is like a lot of H.P. Lovecraft, and like really, I'm just. I am an absorber of things. Like, there are ways in which I look at this and I can see, like, we're talking about Much Ado About Nothing, we're talking about Christopher Fry, and they're like, I think sometimes my penchant for, like, really large vocabulary words, like, I was really happy, I'm like, I'm going to put the word Brobdingnagian right here, and people are going to have to look it up and bring it back. I'm sure she did. But it doesn't matter, because Carmilla was educated a long time ago, and she'd have read Gulliver's Travels, so she would have to know that word.
Of course.
Suck it. So yeah, I love you guys. You have to think that one of the things that happens in any kind of writing is that the purpose of the writer is to be both giver of things and taker away, right? Like that's one of your primary jobs, especially in something like this that runs really on desire and unresolved tensions. So that like what you're really trying to do, and you do it to a varying degree of success, is to be like, here's this amazing thing that I've given you. Isn't it shiny? And don't you like it? And now you can only keep this part of it. I'm taking this one back, right? And if you're not doing that, then you're not doing your job right. Like if the fans aren't at least a little bit afraid, like, oh my God, we have fans, which we love you guys so much. But if they're at least a little bit afraid that you're the kind of sadist who will be like, here in our greatest moment together, I'm gonna kill your favorite. I'm gonna cut you and take him away. Then I'm not doing my job. That's my job. Yeah. That's the relationship I'm supposed to have with you. And if later you rail at me and hate me for it, well, that's me doing my job too, and that's you doing your job. That's how we go.
I was such a fangirl when I was reading the episodes. Like we kept on getting. We filmed like the first chunk, like the first 20 episodes, and then we just kept on getting like 2 at a time. And like me and some of the other actors would just like be like texting each other ferociously after, being like, I can't believe this happened, and like, oh my God, like her, and then what the heck, and like, oh my goodness, and like I was so. Yeah. You succeeded. Congratulations. You were the actor.
In trolling you guys.
Yeah, sometimes I forgot that I was acting and I was like, oh my God, no!
So this is one of the spoiler ones. Like one of the things that I think like people didn't even know how easily they got off. Like there was literally a moment near the end where I'm just like, I'm gonna kill Danny. I think she's gonna take a run at the dean and we'll just snap her neck. That'll be awful for people. Why
would you do that?
Because that's my job. That's totally my, like, when I'm sitting here right now, my job is to be like, you can't have nice things. Like, you can't have a happy ending with Carmilla without paying for it. Like, you have to think of writers like evil fairies. Like, so fairy tales, also a really big thing. We're like evil fairies. We're going to give you things, but there's going to be a price, Like, maybe it's your voice, Little Mermaid. Maybe it's, this is, worry if they think you sound a lot like me.